Good afternoon, football fans. Big Al here on this Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, and welcome to the Week 6 college football rankings from both the Associated Press and the AFCA Coaches Poll. This will be the first of two videos today. The next one will look at the Week 6 college football television schedule and the announcers for every game coming up this weekend. So stay tuned for that as well. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. And here we go with the Week 6 college football polls, starting off with the current Associated Press Top 25 poll. And there is no change at the top with the Ohio State Buckeyes retaining the number 1 spot. 4-0 record with 1,626 points and 46 first place votes. The Buckeyes defeated Washington in Seattle 24-6, and they are back home this week to host Minnesota. Jumping 4 spots to number 2 are the Oregon Ducks. 5-0 record, 1,589 points, and 16 first-place votes. Of course, had that big double overtime victory at then number 3 Penn State. We'll tell you where the Nittany Lions fell in this week's poll in just a minute. All right, let me get that off my screen and get this off my phone. Okay, the Ducks are off this week. Slipping a spot to number 3 are the Miami Hurricanes. 4-0 record, 1,529 points, and 4 first-place votes. They were off in Week 5, and they have a big in-state showdown with the Florida State Seminoles, who are also ranked this week. We'll tell you where they are shortly. The biggest jump in the AP poll goes to the Ole Miss Running Rebels, jumping up 9 spots to number 4. They have a 5-0 record with 1,354 points. They defeated then 4th-ranked LSU 24-19, and they are off this week. Up 2 spots to number 5 are the Oklahoma Sooners. 4-0 record, 1,313 points. They were off last week as well, but they're back at it, hosting Kent State in a non-conference game. Up 3 spots to number 6, you got the Texas A&M Aggies. 4-0 record, 1,308 points. They defeated Auburn in a defensive battle, 16-10. This week, they will host the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Dropping 4 spots to number 7 are the Penn State Nittany Lions. 3-1 record, 1,179 points. They lost in the whiteout last week in double overtime to now 2nd-ranked Oregon, and this week they're headed west to face the UCLA Bruins. Staying in the Big Ten, up 3 spots to number 8, you've got the Indiana Hoosiers. 5-0 record, 1,156 points. They won a battle at Iowa 20-15, and they are off this week. Up 1 spot to number 9 are the Texas Longhorns. 3-1 record and 1,071 points. They were off in Week 5, but they're back at it, visiting the Swamp to play Florida. Up 7 spots to number 10, the Alabama Crimson Tide. 3-1 record, 1,057 points. Had that huge road win at then 5th-ranked Georgia, 24-21. And this week, they host the Vanderbilt Commodores, who are also ranked this week. I'll tell you where in just a second. Holding steady at up 1 spot to number 11, you have the Texas Tech Red Raiders. 4-0 record, 967 points. They were off in Week 5, and they're back at it as they visit the Houston Cougars. Dropping 7 spots to number 12 are the aforementioned Georgia Bulldogs. 3-1 record, 965 points. They, of course, lost at home to Alabama 24-21. And this week, they have a get-right game against the Kentucky Wildcats. Bryce is in the house. What up, bro? Staying in the SEC, dropping 9 spots down to number 13, the LSU Tigers. 4-1 record, 838 points. Of course, losing at Ole Miss last week, 24-19. They are off this week to lick their wounds. Steady at number 14, the Iowa State Cyclones. 5-0 record, 830 points. They, of course, beat up Arizona last week, 39-14. This week, they are in Cincinnati to face the Bearcats. Also unchanged at number 15 are the Tennessee Volunteers. 4-1 record, 697 points. They won at Mississippi State, 41-34, and they are off this week. Up 2 spots to number 16 are the Vanderbilt Commodores. 5-0 record, 640 points. They defeated Utah State 55-35, and this week they have a big road test at number 10, Alabama. Down a spot to number 17, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. 5-0 record, 549 points. They narrowly escaped with a 30-29 victory at Wake Forest, and they are off this week. The biggest drop in the AP poll is the Florida State Seminoles, down 10 spots to number 18. 3-1 record, 535 points. They, of course, lost at Virginia 46-38, and that was a double overtime game as well. This week, it gets no easier for the Seminoles as they will host number 3 Miami in primetime on Saturday night. Up 1 spot to number 19, the Missouri Tigers. 5-0 record, 528 points. Ripping apart UMass last week, 42-6, and they are off this week. Down a spot to number 20 are the Michigan Wolverines. 3-1 record, 422 points. They were off in week 5, and they are back in action this week, hosting Wisconsin at the Big House. Up 1 spot to number 21, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 2-2 record, 333 points. They blew away Arkansas on the road 56-13. Now they're back home hosting Boise State, who was a preseason top 25 team, by the way. Up 1 spot to number 22, the Illinois Fighting Illini. 4-1 record, 271 points. They defeated USC at home 34-32, and they are hitting the road to face the Purdue Boilermakers. Up 2 spots to number 23, the BYU Cougars. 4-0 record, 191 points. They won a tough test at Colorado against Coach Prime's Buffaloes, 24-21, and they're back at home this week hosting West Virginia. And then the last 2 teams are the 2 newcomers this week. Oh, Michigan is my favorite team. Go Blue. The Virginia Cavaliers are new at number 24. 4-1 record, 125 points. They, of course, had that double overtime upset victory over then number 8 Florida State, 46-38. This week, they will hit the road to face an undefeated Louisville team. And back in the AP poll at number 25 are the Arizona State Sun Devils. 4-1 record, 107 points. Of course, they defeated TCU at home last Friday night, 27-24, and they are off this week. All right. Others receiving votes include South Florida with 53 points, Utah with 52, Mississippi State at 46, Memphis 38, Louisville 36, USC, who was previously ranked 21st, they're getting 22 points. North Texas with 7, Maryland also with 7. TCU, who was number 24 in last week's AP poll, is getting 6 points this week, and UNLV with 3 points. All right, so that's the AP poll for week 6. Now let's jump on over to the AFCA coaches poll for week 6. And like in the Associated Press poll, Ohio State has the number 1 spot. 4-0 record, 1,617 points, and 58 first place votes. Up 3 spots to number 2 is Oregon. 5-0 record, 1,559 points, and 6 first place votes. Also up 3 spots to number 3 are the Miami Hurricanes. 4-0 record, 1,484 points. Ole Miss had the biggest jump in the AP poll, and likewise here in the AFCA coaches poll, moving up 7 spots to number 4. 5-0 record, 1,319 points. Moving up 4 spots to number 5 is Texas A&M. 4-0 record, 1,223 points. Down 4 spots to number 6 after the double overtime loss to Oregon is Penn State. 3-1 record, 1,192 points. Texas remains at number 7, 3-1 record, 1,165 points. Oklahoma jumps 2 spots to number 8, 4-0 record, 1,123 points. Indiana is up 3 spots to number 9, 5-0 record, 1,059 points. Dropping 7 spots to number 10 are the Georgia Bulldogs. 3-1 record, 1,006 points. Up 5 spots to number 11 is Alabama. 3-1 record, 975 points. Up 1 spot to number 12 is Iowa State. 5-0 record, 919 points. Just ahead of LSU, who fell 9 spots to number 13, just as they did in the AP. What's up, Anna? How are you? LSU is 4-1 with 918 points and just fell below Iowa State. Steady at number 14 is Texas Tech, 4-0 record, 856 points. Also steady is Tennessee at number 15, 4-1 record, 728 points. Up 1 spot to number 16 is Georgia Tech, 5-0 record, 604 points. Up 3 spots to 17 is Vanderbilt, 5-0 record, 502 points. Moving up 1 spot to 18 is Missouri, 5-0 record, 495 points, or rather 498 points. Biggest drop in the coaches poll this week is Florida State, tumbling 11 spots to number 19, 3-1 record, 483 points. Dropping 2 spots to number 20 is Michigan, 3-1 record, 453 points. Steady at number 21 is Notre Dame, 2-2 record, 316 points. Up 1 spot to 22 is Illinois, 4-1 record, 287 points. At 23, also up a spot, is BYU, 4-0 record, 221 points. Arizona State re-enters the coaches poll at number 24, 4-1 record, 136 points. And the other newcomer this week are the Utah Utes at number 25, 4-1 record, 104 points. They blew out West Virginia 48-14, and they are off this week. And the same 2 teams that dropped from the AP rankings also fell from the coaches poll as well. And that's USC, previously at 22, and TCU, previously at 25. Others receiving votes include Memphis, 88 points, Louisville, 83 points, Virginia, 63, South Florida, 29, Maryland, and the aforementioned USC, both with 17, Auburn with 12, UNLV with 11, Navy and Mississippi State with 9 apiece, Tulane with 8, Washington and North Texas both with 7, TCU with 6, Nebraska and Duke with 4, Iowa with 3, and Houston with 1. And that is a look at the latest college football rankings entering week 6 of the season. Alright, I'm going to go upload this and I will be back with the week 6 college football television schedule and the announcers for every game this week. So again, stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and get notified every time I go live. Big Al for now signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.